I was patrol deputy chief, chief of detectives, then the first deputy superintendent, and then the interim police superintendent. I would have to say the first I heard about all of this was from the media reports last year. I don't know even now whether or not there is a serial killer. Certainly, you can't rule it out.
Officials have said there's no evidence of a pattern that would point to a serial killer.
If there were a serial killer in Chicago, I'd be the first person to acknowledge it.
That would ultimately be for the detectives to make that determination. And a lot of that hopefully would come from DNA evidence. When the same DNA profile is showing up at multiple scenes, well, you've got a problem, right? You've got a serial killer. Certainly there is a backlog at the state with DNA processing, and evidence being processed has to be prioritized by the state crime lab. If you had a body that was recovered and it's got multiple gunshot wounds, obviously it doesn't take a detective to figure out that person died a violent death, that person died of a murder. And so that, in terms of case reporting, was always going to be on a criminal offense as a homicide. The problem we found was, how do you classify a body that's found, say, in an abandoned building and is so badly decomposed, you really don't know how that person died. At the time, the department only had the death investigation, and it was considered a non-criminal incident. We found the state wasn't processing the non-criminal DNA evidence because they were saying, why would you want us to process this? This is a non-criminal incident. We changed it while I was chief of detectives. There's two options now. One is the non-criminal, and the other is death pending further investigation. So we could tell them, hey, we do need you to process this because we don't know how the person died. I know going back, some of these cases, unfortunately, were done under the old system where it was death investigation and the only option was a non-criminal because you didn't know how they died. I haven't seen anything that has shown that there is DNA evidence that links one offender to multiple scenes. Let's say worst case scenario that DNA testing hasn't helped identify or prove the fact that maybe there's a serial killer. Hopefully just the fact that they've looked at him again, hopefully a few of those give them new leads or new information.